Hi everyone, it's Lisa. I'm here today to do a book tag. I was tagged to do the I Never book tag by Anna at The Baked Book, whom I love. She makes me laugh and smile. All of her Christmas Vlogmas days were just so much fun to watch. And so I'm going to do this tag. Here we go. The I Never book tag. The first one is, I never read that. Name a book that you never read that everyone else has. So confession time, I think with this video, I haven't read any of Sarah J. Maas's books. So I'm not sure where to start, and I don't even know if I'm ready. Like, there are so many mixed ideas. People love it, people hate it, controversy. So I'm going to ask you, do I start anything by her? Should I give anything a chance? Because I'm thinking of ordering, was it Throne of Glass? Not sure about that. So maybe you can let me know what you think about the author, and maybe I'll give her a try. So the second one is, I've never read anything so awesome. Name your favorite book, which is impossible because I have so many books that I love. But I am going to name one of my favorite books. When I'm reading a book, I'm looking for the wow factor. I'm looking for something out of the box. I'm looking for something different. So when I came across years ago the author Ted Dekker, he won my heart. And mostly, I'm pretty sure this is one of the first books I read by him. So it's called 3. And I didn't know what to expect with the book. I was reading it, really enjoying the characters, and then at the end, he blew my mind. He totally blew my mind with where he went with the story, and I should have maybe tried to figure it out, but I didn't, which delighted me even all the more because the ending like blew me out of the water. It was just so crazy. So this is one of my favorite books, and I love books where I can't guess the ending. So this is a very big favorite of mine, as is Ted Dekker is my favorite author. So the next question is, I never thought I would get through it. Name a book you didn't like but powered through it anyway. So here's another choice that I'm really, really nervous to show you, but okay, I realize why everyone likes this book and Gemina, but the book's almost 600 pages, and it took me probably a good 400 before I started really enjoying the story and what they were doing with it. So I think a lot of my problem is that my eyes are bad, and there's a lot of like small writing and different kinds of backgrounds, and so it's just my eyes had a field trip on this book. And although the theme and the idea of it is brilliant, the story was not enough for me to like, and I'm sorry to all the people out there that love this book. I just didn't. The next question is, I will never finish that. Name a book or series you don't plan on finishing. So there are a few series that I probably will not finish. I love to read a first book of a series, and if I love it, then I'll keep going, and if I don't like at all, then I probably won't. So the books that the 2 series I'm going to name, I don't have the books because I gave them away because I'm not going to finish reading the series. So the first one is The Fifth Wave, and I had The Infinite Sea, and I started reading it, and I just said, you know what, it's not something that I want to continue. So I passed it on to my little free library. And the other series, probably not going to finish, is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I didn't see the movie yet even, but I don't think I'm going to finish that. I just wasn't thrilled about the storyline, and the pictures are really cool, but that's about it. That's about all I liked from that. So there's that. Number 5, I will never regret reading that. Name a book you've read solely on recommendation that you ended up really liking. And this is a popular one, I'm sure, and something that I never thought I'd like, but the Lunar Chronicles are just amazing. The storyline, the characters are all friggin' awesome. And for her to take this, I mean, this is just ridiculous. It was so good, and so many people said, you have to read this, you have to read this, and I'm so leery when that happens. What if I don't like it? But I did. I loved not only Cinder, but all of the books in this series. They were so much fun to read. And I read Fairest this month as well, which will be on my wrap-up video. I would never do that. Name a relatable character who made choices you didn't agree with or did things you would never do. So I didn't pick out a book for this one because I had a hard time thinking of something, but one thing that I always find so funny, I'm a big horror movies buff. I love to be scared. I love horror movies. But the cheesy ones, the cheesy horror movies kill me because every single time, okay, the house is dark and you hear noises. So the person in the movie creeps toward the noise. I mean, who does that? If you're, you know, having somebody in your house, why are you going to face them? You should, like, run, or I don't know. I just am always baffled by people in horror movies who take these chances that I would never. Maybe I'm just a big scaredy cat. I would run away, but I would never, ever. I never wanted to admit it. Name a book you were embarrassed to carry around with you. Not embarrassed about any of my books. Maybe when I used to read the Harlequin, the romance novels. That was a long time ago, though, and I do not read them anymore. I just think they're boring, and not a big chick flick person or romance person. Sometimes a book will grab me, like when I read this month that I will do a review on, The Sun Is Also a Star. That had romance in it, but not crazy, just like really sweet, fun stuff. So no romance for me. Number 8, I never read anything so heartbreaking. And, okay, so I have this huge fascination with books from World War II, fictional books or historical fiction that take place in that time, and they're always heartbreaking. I always find myself drawn to them, though, and I love to read those kind of books. So The Nightingale is one that I can think of, and The Story of Anne Frank, and books like that, just that grab you and tell you something that has happened in history, but it's horror, you know, it's horrible, all of that stuff. So just heartbreaking. Number 9, I never laughed so hard. So that was, I was thinking for a while about that. Books don't usually make me laugh out loud. If they're funny, I'll smile, or I'll roll my eyes if it's cheesy, but I don't usually laugh out loud. But I did read this before the movie came out, and the part with the chocolate pie, how about I say that for people who haven't read it? That had me laughing so hard, and I just thought it was brilliant the way it was executed. So this is an awesome book. It really is. I love it. It's a book that I have read and that I know I will read again. So I'm keeping it on my shelf for sure. And then the last one is I could never make it through my childhood without it. So I don't remember reading much as a child, and the books that I did read, I can't remember what the names are. I did find one book called Island of the Blue Dolphins, and the story just stuck in my head, and I have recently reread it. It's a really great children's book, grade school kind of book. And then there's another book that I read, and I'm not even sure. Like, I tried to look it up recently, and I wasn't sure really the gist of the story, just a little bit, and I couldn't find it. But there are some other stories that when I see the title, I'm like, I think I read that in school. And that's the end of the book tag, and I would like to tag a few other people to do this. I will tag your name down below because I don't have the paper that I wrote on, of course. So unorganized over Christmas vacation. Like, there's still presents all over the place, and trying to clean up a little bit. But with the kids home from school this week, it's next to impossible. So anyway, that is the end of my tag. I will tag some people down below, and I hope you're having a wonderful week if you're off or if you're at work. Hopefully you had a really nice Christmas and New Year's coming. So be safe and Happy New Year. Bye.